We're here, baby, back in New York. My name's Kate Adams. That's Peter Schrager, Nate Burleson, Kyle Brandt. Go.
I'm just so excited.
Ah!
Look at this huge table we have. They designed a new table so we can be separate. And I just think there's a big Buffalo Bills game this weekend. So why don't we break in the table? I'll jump on it right now. Here we go. Ready?
Okay. Yeah, you're crazy, dude. Bro.
Now, you have gotten on, this is just a little covering on our old table, Nate. Tell me if I'm wrong. Kyle did get on here, jump on it, and break it. It's a broken table.
Definitely did.
Our bosses loved it.
But I like this, though. Social distancing, the safe way. We have to give air fist pounds. That's what we do now. Love you guys. Back in studio. And thank everybody for sticking with us all this time during the dark times we were at home.
Yeah, no, thank you. It's great. And I think that's my big takeaway on this. Like, you guys watched the show while we were in 4 vertical boxes for 3 hours straight, and we appreciate that. Hopefully this is the reward for all that. It feels good to be back.
I will say, the UK Shregs, I don't think has ever seen us.
Have they not?
Oh, wow.
In studio. We have a partnership with Sky Sports. Thank you for watching on YouTube TV, wherever you may be. Welcome to our home. It's a little bit different, but it feels very much the same. So great to see you guys.
Nate's wearing pants.
Yeah, at GMFB. I'm wearing pants. Okay, time for the lead block.
Lead block. Lead block.
Here's the deal, guys. We've got a huge AFC North matchup in Week 8. The undefeated Steelers are going to Baltimore to take on those 5-1 Ravens. We've got our very own Aditi Kinkhabwala wearing a boot on Sunday. I don't know what happened to her, but she's got the latest on this game.
Mike Tomlin talked about his team playing in what he believes is the game of the week for the 3rd consecutive week. But this Sunday against the rival Ravens, the Steelers will absolutely need a bounce-back performance from quarterback Ben Roethlisberger. All year, Roethlisberger has been on target, making smart decisions, going through his progressions faster than he ever has in his career, and getting rid of the ball more quickly than anybody else in the NFL. But Sunday in Tennessee, he threw 3 uncharacteristic interceptions, perhaps not taking what was there, but seeking more. Now, Tomlin downplayed all that. He said that there is no lingering concern. And even as he talked about how ferocious this Ravens defense is, he does have something going for him. Although the Ravens blitzed more than anybody else in the NFL, Roethlisberger is perhaps the best in the NFL against the blitz. He has the highest completion percentage against the blitz, he has the 2nd most touchdowns against the blitz, and he has the 3rd best passer rating against the blitz. It's a matchup that we will surely be watching come Sunday.
It's the game of the week, Aditi. We appreciate all of that knowledge. I think it's one of the best rivalries in football. I look at you, Nate, because you and I argued about this a little bit in the offseason, whether or not we'd be looking at this game like a marquee rivalry, whether who's at the top. And this is it. One undefeated team. And then you've got the Ravens, who, by the way, I just want to say this to everyone. They have the #1 defense in football. We talk about the Steelers. We talk about the Rams. We talk about the Cardinals. The Ravens have the #1 defense in all of football. What do you need to see from the Ravens offense, though, against the Steelers on Sunday?
I want to see Lamar Jackson be Lamarvelous, remarkable. He needs to be fantastic, and not just with passing the ball. I need to see him get outside the pocket. We know that this Pittsburgh Steelers defense is going to get after him. They're going to bring pressures. They do it the best in the business. But when it comes to Lamar, when he's outside the pocket like we're seeing right now, throwing those sidearm passes, he's close to unstoppable.
You think it's been a subdued Lamar this year?
Yes, but I think that's on purpose, though, because they're trying to protect his body. But when he does take off, though, it changes the game. When Lamar runs, I'm talking about those big 15, 20-yard, even 50-yard runs like we're seeing right now. It's like a slam dunk in the NBA. It's like the poster in the NBA. So for me, I want to see Lamar get outside the pocket and deflate the Steelers' defense. If he does that, the Ravens will have a big shot of winning this game. If he doesn't, then the Steelers will run away with this one.
Look, Lamar Jackson doesn't need to show us anything. He won the MVP. He was one of the greatest quarterback seasons we've ever seen.
How about a playoff win?
And yet, it's what have you done for me lately in this league? We are fickle as a sports media. And right now, as we head into this game, I'm not thinking of Lamar Jackson as the best quarterback in football. I don't know if he's the top 5. I don't know if he's the top 10.
Interesting.
And Lamar Jackson played one time against that Steelers defense last year, and it was week 5, and they ate him alive. They won the game, the Ravens. They were playing against an inferior quarterback, and Lamar really struggled. He threw 3 interceptions, had 160 passing yards, and they had to go to overtime to beat the Mason Rudolph, Duck Hodges-led Steelers, a team that really was competing with just defense last year. Roethlisberger has never faced Lamar head-to-head. They just have never had that opportunity yet. I don't know. Look, Ravens fans, they are a group of diehard fans who have high expectations and a high standard. 5-1, you think that a lot of fan bases will be doing flips. Like, talk about us. Ravens fans know that this is not where they should be at on offense right now. I think Lamar needs to show us something. I think he needs to put the ball through the air. I think he needs to make. You lay an egg here, and now you've got the Chiefs game on primetime. You got this one with a big audience, and suddenly it's, all right, can Lamar beat good teams? It gets to that point. I don't want to be critical of Lamar Jackson. He doesn't prove anything to me. I love the guy, and I think he's fantastic. I think he needs to show everyone around the league that he can win a game of this magnitude.
It's a big game.
When you start ranking quarterbacks and you start listing the names, like Lamar does tend to get pushed back right now. And there's some, Herbert in the Cool Plays Bro segment looked incredible. Lamar's fantastic, but I'm going to look at the other side. I'm going to look at Ben Roethlisberger. I picked up something recently over the last couple of years in my parenthood that I'm not proud of. As the weather gets colder, I tend to play with my kids less. I just, it's too physically draining, no roughhousing. It's too cold. Get off me. Get off me. That's how I feel about Ben right now. He does not want to be hit at all at his age, at this time of year. He's been through the injury. Stop hitting me. He's only been sacked 8 times this year. It's really low. Baltimore needs to hit the hell out of him. Here's what's really cool about Baltimore's pass rush. Both their starting safeties have sacks. Both their starting corners have sacks. We know Calais leads them, and I think he's got 4.5. Everybody hits in this defense. Everybody rushes the passer. And it's fascinating because Aditi's talking about how good Ben is against the blitz. Well, there's Marcus Peters in the backfield. Yes. Marlon Humphrey's there all day. They need to hit Ben. The last thing Ben wants in this season, this time of his life, is to be hit a million different times from a million different directions. And if I'm Baltimore, I'm going to rough that old man up. We're going to rush him. We're going to think our blitz is better than you are against the blitz. We're not changing because old Ben Roethlisberger's good against the blitz. You're not good against our blitz. I want to see them hit him hard, early, often. Don't play with the kids in the winter. It's too hard. Just give them candy. Hit Ben in the winter. He won't want it.
Candy in that Game Boy that Nate was talking about. Yeah. Strikes, is there anything, let's go back to Lamar for a second here. They faced the Bengals. They faced the Washington football team, the Eagles. I sort of watched those games, and I'm like, they didn't need him. They have the number one. They don't need him. They don't need him to step up and make those huge throws downfield. They can definitely, you can throw, as Nate's saying, on the Steelers. Their pass defense isn't as scary as a lot of people think that it is. Is there a world where we just haven't seen that from Lamar yet?
That could be fair. You could say, well, he hasn't had to. They're up 15 points against Washington. Why would you need Lamar to be there? He threw a beautiful pass to Mark Andrews. That should be enough. But I think it's one of these games where the lights are on, they shine the brightest. We saw him lose to the Chargers in a playoff game. We saw him lose last year to the Titans in a playoff game. And
he always loses to Mahomes.
And we lost to the Chiefs the last 3 times he's played them. Steelers, he's never faced Ben, and now a lot of people have heat on the Steelers. They're undefeated. They're the team right now. And I think if Lamar can step up and show that, hey, I'm still an MVP candidate. I'm still that guy.
I can win the big game.
It would go a long way.
This is a playoff caliber game. Let's just call it what it is.
The problem is they play again on Thanksgiving. So it's like it's part 1 almost.
Right.
Like,
Nate, if they beat the undefeated Steelers, is that enough to sort of shed what is a fickle media and the idea that he can't win it? I mean, it's the right idea. I don't blame people for having it. Is it going to be after this game that we say, oh, he can win the big game?
No, there's no game bigger than the playoffs.
Yeah.
He needs to get to the playoffs and win that.
You just said it's a playoff game.
Yeah, it's a playoff caliber game.
Okay.
But it's not going to change our perspective on what he did actually in the playoffs. So if he wins this game, we're all going to be waiting. Okay, we'll see what happens Thanksgiving, and then we're going to see what happens in January. Because those games are a lot different than the regular season playoff caliber games.
They could win 12 straight and we don't care.
Well, they did that last year, and they won 12 straight, and it's like, I don't feel bad about it either. The great ones have that expectation. If Lamar really is that great, then I don't care if you won 12 straight or 50 straight. Like, you get the rings, you get the playoff wins, and it's almost a compliment that we're saying this to Lamar, because you're one of the great ones. We need it from you.
And we'll say that about Kyler, too, right? Kyler's lighting it up this year. He's got better numbers than Lamar Jackson did through 7 weeks, and if he doesn't do it in the playoffs, we'll look at it in the same way.
He's just getting started, though.
Hey, listen, wait till Tua gets cooking.
Oh, big 7A.
Tua's going to make the playoffs.
7A. Let's bring in Ian Rappaport. He is, of course, our NFL Network insider. Ian, let's stick with Baltimore here. Very excited about this game, a huge rivalry that goes way back. The Ravens added, I said they have, a lot going on. They added on defense and offense, Des Bryant. Let's go talk about it. What can you tell us? I don't know. Just talk.
All right, I'll take it from here, okay? Yeah, Des Bryant,
Thanks.
The long-rumored reunion with the Baltimore Ravens is, in fact, official yesterday. They signed him to the practice squad. This is a statement that would never be made ever, except, 2020. So this is reality. We've seen veterans all across the league going on practice squads, taking a couple weeks, and then potentially getting promoted to the game day roster. That is the hope for the former Cowboys star Des Bryant. And really, kudos to Des. I think many people, including myself, thought his career was over. He kept working, put his head down, posted a lot of videos on social media, now officially back with a team, and that is the Ravens. Meanwhile, stay in this division. Interesting situation developing in Cincinnati. Sources say that defensive end Carlos Dunlap, the very disgruntled Carlos Dunlap, has been posting on social media all sorts of things, not necessarily being nice to his current team. The Bengals have told him, do not show up for work today. I'm told the team is working to trade him. It is unlikely that he is back in Cincinnati, so they want him to stay home until it's sorted out. Somewhat similar situation with the Dallas Cowboys. Tom Pelissero reports that Darryl Worley and Dontari Poe, two veterans making a bunch of money, have been told that they will be cut if the team cannot trade them.
Wow, that's sort of wild to the Dunlap point. A similar situation happened here in studio where Kyle kept tweeting about how disgruntled he was working at home in his basement with his kids jumping all over him. So he tweeted a lot about it, and here we are back in studio. So the moves might be made with those Cincinnati Bengals. I'll also add another move by the Ravens. Unique Ngakoue, of course, added to their already #1 scoring defense, allowing 17.3 points a game. Okay, thank you so much, Ian. We'll talk to you.